Hello students, today's topic is chromatographic techniques 1. Coming to the introduction, chromatography is the separation process where a mixture of solute is allowed to interact with two physically distinct entities, that is the stationary phase and the mobile phase. The mixture of solutes is dissolved in a common solvent and is separated from one another by a differential distribution of the solutes between the stationary and the mobile phase. The stationary phase can be solid, gel, liquid, solid-liquid mixture that is immobilized, and it may have the ability to bind some type of solutes onto it. And the mobile phase can be liquid or gas which passes over the stationary phase. Coming to the general principle of chromatography, all forms of chromatography work on the same principle. They have a stationary phase that can be a solid or liquid supported on a solid, and a mobile phase that can be a liquid or a gas. During the process, the sample containing many molecular components comes in contact with the stationary phase, and the components distribute themselves between the stationary and the mobile phase. If some components in the sample are bound to the stationary phase, then they will spend more time in the stationary phase, and hence their movement in the chromatographic system will be retarded. On the other hand, the molecules that show weak affinity or interaction with the stationary phase spends more time with the mobile phase and are rapidly removed or eluted from the system. Thus, the rate of migration of the solute depends on the rate of interaction of it with the stationary and the mobile phase. Now, distribution or partition coefficient, also known as Kd, describes the way an analyte distributes between the two immiscible phases. We have Kd is equal to concentration of solute in the stationary phase divided by the concentration of solute in the mobile phase. Thus, the differences in the Kd value of the components results in their separation, and the general process of moving a solute mixture through a chromatographic system is called development. Coming to the classification of chromatography, based on mechanism of separation, it is divided into adsorption chromatography and partition chromatography. Again, based on the phases, it is divided into number 1 solid phase chromatography, which can be again subdivided into solid liquid chromatography, solid gas chromatography, and second one is liquid phase chromatography, which can be again subdivided into liquid liquid chromatography and liquid gas chromatography. Based on the shape of chromatographic bed, it can be divided into number 1 planar chromatography, which is again subdivided into paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography. Second one is column chromatography, which is again subdivided into packed column chromatography and open tubular column chromatography. So, the concerned topic, that is the paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography, are examples of partition chromatography. Coming to the principle of paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography, for partition chromatography, the stationary phase consists of an inert solid particle coated with liquid adsorbent. The mobile phase is the developing solution that travels up the stationary phase, carrying the samples with it. So, the substances are distributed between the stationary and the mobile phase. Therefore, the components of the sample will separate readily according to how strongly they adsorb onto the stationary phase as compared to how readily they dissolve in the mobile phase. The distribution of the solutes between two phases is based primarily on the solubility differences. The distribution may be quantified by using the partition coefficient or KD. In paper chromatography, the stationary phase is the water molecule which is trapped between the cellulose fiber of the paper. Cellulose chromatography paper is used as the stationary support. The mobile phase travels up the stationary phase due to capillary action. The mobile phase is generally an alcohol-solvent mixture. In thin layer chromatography or TLC, the stationary phase is a layer which is as thin as 0.25 to 2 mm and it is coated on a glass or metal foil plate. The glass or plate is commonly square or rectangle of 5 to 20 cm size. The test sample is applied as spot near the end of the plate. This spot is called the origin. The plate is placed in the reservoir of mobile phase. Due to capillary action, the mobile phase moves readily across the layer. The silica gel or the alumina is a stationary phase. A pencil line is drawn near the bottom of the plate and a small drop of the solution of the dye mixture is placed on it. In both TLC and paper chromatography, the fundamental measurement is that of the retardation factor RF. The retardation factor is defined as the ratio of the distance travelled by the solute from the origin to the distance travelled by the solvent from the origin. If the RF value is 0, it means that the distance travelled by solute is nil and the solute remains in the stationary phase and thus it is immobile. If the RF value is 1, it means that the solute has no affinity with the stationary phase and travels with the solvent front. The RF values depend on the temperature and solvent which is used in the experiment. So, same compound can have different RF values in different solvents. Coming to the types of paper chromatography. First one is the ascending paper chromatography. In this case, the separation of the sample is against gravity. This is why it is termed as ascending technique. The mobile phase is at the bottom of the tank. The point of application of the sample is just above the solvent. The mobile phase will gradually rise upwards and carry the components of the mixture. The most polar substance will be at the bottom with respect to the tank, whereas the least polar will be on top end of the tank. This is relatively a slow process as compared to the descending technique. Second one is the descending paper chromatography. Here, the development of the chromatogram is done by allowing the solvent to travel down the paper under the influence of gravity. The mobile phase is placed in solvent holder at the top. The sample application spot is kept at the top and the solvent flow down the paper from above. Both descending and ascending paper chromatography are used for the separation of organic and inorganic substances. For the detection of the separated compounds on the chromatogram, the compound should be colored. Several methods can be used to locate the spots, which includes fluorescence, radioactivity, and treatment with chemicals that develop colors. Universal reagents like concentrated sulfuric acid or iodine can be used to color the organic molecules black or brown respectively. Specific reagents react with a particular class of compounds. For example, rhodamine B is often used for visualization of lipids, ninhydrin for visualizing amino acids, and aniline phthalate for carbohydrates. The position of each component of a mixture is quantified by calculation of RF values. For example, in this figure, the purple color components travel 6 cm and the solvent front travels 10 cm. Then the RF value is calculated as 6 by 10, which gives 0.6. Third one is radial paper chromatography. It is also called circular chromatography. Here, a circular filter paper is taken and the sample is deposited at the center of the paper. After drying the spot, the filter paper is tied horizontally on the petri dish containing solvent so that the wick of the paper is dipped in the solvent. The solvent rises through the wick and the components are separated into concentric circles. Fourth one is two-dimensional paper chromatography. The sample is applied to one corner and after the development is performed in the first run, the filter paper is turned 90° clockwise. Another solvent is used and then performed a second chromatographic run. This results in a better separation. Coming to the procedure of thin layer chromatography, first one is the preparation of plates. The stationary phase is applied as a slurry with a uniform layer of thickness. The coated plates are allowed to dry at room temperature before use. The plate can be dried by heating the plate at 100 to 200 degrees Celsius, and also the temperature serves to activate the adsorbent. Second is application of the sample. The sample is dissolved in an organic solvent and it is applied at about 2 cm from the edge of the plate by using a micropipette. The solvent can be removed from the spot by gentle heating with an air dryer. Many different samples can be applied as discrete spots in the same plate. The sample can be applied as a band across the plate for preparatory purposes. Third one is the plate development. Before the separation process, the tank is allowed to equilibrate with the mobile phase for about 1 hour with a glass lid on top. After drying the spots of mixtures, the plate is allowed to stand in the beaker containing solvent. The solvent layer will be just below the point of application of the sample, and then the beaker is covered. The plate is then vertically placed in the tank with the edge near the origin standing in the liquid. When the mobile phase front approaches the distant edge of the plate, then the plate is removed from the tank and the separated analytes will be detected. When the solvent travels up the plate, it carries along with it the different components of the sample. The components travel at different speed and thus the mixture is separated at different spots. The plate can be removed from the beaker when the solvent front reaches almost the top of the plate, and the position of the solvent front is marked with another line before the solvent evaporates. Fourth one, the separated components can be identified by calculating the RF values and then comparing with the standards. Now, detection of the analytes. If the compounds are colorless, then the detection can be done in a number of ways. First one, by spraying the plate with a specific reagent that converts the analyte to a colored product. For example, during the separation of a mixture of amino acids, ninhydrin is sprayed on the dried chromatogram. Ninhydrin acts with amino acid to give colored compounds, mainly brown or purple. So, after spraying ninhydrin, the spots of amino acid will be visible. Second one, by incorporating a fluorescent dye into the stationary phase, so that when the plate is examined under ultraviolet light, the analytes show as blue, green or black spots against a fluorescent background, and thus the separated components can be visually detected. Third one, by using radio level analytes and subjecting the developed plates to autoradiography using an X-ray film or by scanning the plate with a radiochromatograph scanner. Coming to the application of paper chromatography and thin layer chromatography. First one, paper chromatography is used to estimate free amino acids in tissues. A quantitative estimation of these fractions was made possible by spectrophotometric analysis of the colored solution produced by ninhydrin. Suppose we want to find out which particular amino acids are contained in a given amino acid mixture. In the diagram, the mixture is represented by M and the known amino acids are labeled 1 to 5. Thus, after comparing the RF values of the separated spots with that of the known amino acids, it is found that the mixture contains amino acids labeled as 1, 4 and 5. Second one, detection of purity of sample can be carried out by TLC. If any impurity is detected, then it shows an extra spot and thus can be detected easily. Third one, thin layer chromatography can be employed in purification, isolation and identification of natural products like volatile oil or essential oil, fixed oil, waxes, terpenes, alkaloids, glycosides, steroids, etc. Fourth one, reaction mixture can be examined by thin layer chromatography to assess whether the reaction is complete or not. This method is also used in checking other separational processes and purification processes like distillation, molecular distillation, etc. Coming to the conclusion, chromatography is used to separate mixtures of substances into their components. TLC and paper chromatography are practically simple, low cost and ability to separate several test samples simultaneously. It requires a minute sample size and the detection is straightforward. Unknown samples are applied to a plate with appropriate standards and the chromatography is developed as a single experiment. Thank you.
Thank you.